Hey planner friends! Welcome back to my channel. Today we are starting on some autumnal vibes with my September monthly in my medium passion planner. Let's get started! So the kit that I'm using for the month of September is the Campfire Monthly from Plannerface. I do PR for Plannerface, so you can use my code in the description to save yourselves a little bit of money and also mention me for a freebie. As we're moving into a new month, I'm also moving into a new colour theme, so this is the Vintage Sepia Passion Highlighter, which I'm going to be using for my theme colour for September. As with all of my monthly spreads, I'm just colouring in the tops of the calendar boxes on days where I'm not going to be at work, so that's just the weekends for September so far, and also highlighting over the checkboxes in the bottom left hand corner of the personal project section. So getting into some stickers, I've first trimmed the date covers off of the main washi headers that come in this Plannerface kit, and I'm using those to cover up the grey boxes that aren't in the month of September. As there's some grey space underneath that washi as it's not quite the height of the calendar boxes printed on the page, I'm using the glitter strips that come in the kit to fill in that space. As there's 30 days in September, I was one glitter strip short, but I found an old glitter header in my leftover stash, so I've used that to fill in the space at the end of the month. Next I'm going to add in my September header, and these are pretty delicate, but I'm really pleased that I managed to get this down first time and it's straight and everything. Next we can move on to the date covers, and as usual I'm sticking Wednesday back to Monday, trimming Sunday off the left hand side and then laying Thursday to Saturday, trimming the sidebar header off and adding Sunday onto the right hand side of the page. Plannerface does do Monday start date strip as an add-on, but they still have Monday to Thursday on one side, so I would have to trim them anyway. So now we can start moving anti-clockwise around the outside of my spread, and first off I'm using these 1cm chunks that I've cut from the box covers to fill in the white space above the date covers. So I'm adding 4 chunks onto the right hand side and then 3 chunks onto the left hand side, making sure that the pattern lines up nicely, and then trimming off the ends so that they are the same width as the calendar. Moving on to the sidebar, I'm using half of the decorative sidebar that I trimmed off camera to cover the people to see and week and monthly focus boxes, as well as the September header, and then where you can just see the September header between the sidebar and the little boxes that I've put along the top, I'm just adding a piece of white sticker paper to kind of cover that up a little bit. As usual, over the places to go and things to learn boxes, I'm adding the goals and to buy headers and some heart checklists from the kit. The goals section is going to be for my biggest lifts at the gym for this month, and then the to buy section I think is pretty self-explanatory. Along the bottom of my spread I'm just going to cover up the headers, so for the personal and work project headers I'm using the skinny washi pieces from the kit, and then for the break it down header I'm using 6mm chunks that I've cut from those box covers that I used along the top of the spread. The personal project section is going to be for my monthly actions from my Moxie Life Compass assessment. The work project section I cover with my mini calendar to track walkies with Reggie, and then the break it down section is going to be for my big 30-day habit tracker. Then I can just add in all of my date flags, and as usual I'm going to pop a couple in and then just speed through the rest of them. And then we can finish off the base of the spread with my big 30-day habit tracker, so this is just something that I make in Excel and print off on sticker paper myself. And then I'm going to add in my mini calendar into the work project section, which is just a printable that I found online, which will be linked in the description. And then we can move on to my actual plans for the month. So starting on the 1st, I have a bill that's due, so I've cut one of the bill due stickers from the kit in half horizontally so that it doesn't take up so much space within the box, and I'm just adding that into the bottom of the calendar box. I'm then adding in a quarter box with the dumbbell doodle from Plannerface to mark that I have to remember to enter something on this day. I don't want to say what it is in this video just in case something goes wrong and I don't manage to get a spot, but I think in my next weekly spread I'll probably mention it. On this day I'm also working from home, so I'm using one of these round laptop icons from Plannerface which have now been discontinued, just to mark that in. I'll be using this to mark in work from home days throughout the whole month as I normally do. Moving on to the 2nd, I have another bill due, so again I've cut a bill due sticker in half to add in, and then I'm also adding in one of the bin doodles from the kit just a reminder to take the bins out. We can then move on to the 3rd, where I'm using one of the solid washi pieces with the car doodle to mark that my boyfriend is away at a gig this day, and then I'm using one of the regular event labels from the kit to mark in my weightlifting class. Moving on to the first full week of September, I'm first marking that it's my friend's birthday using one of the birthday cake labels from the kit, but I've put one of the birthday present doodles over the icon that's printed on this sticker. I'm then using a quarter box with the house doodle from the kit to mark in that on this day we're getting a fibre optic upgrade, so we are finally getting some decent internet. I mean, our internet's not terrible, but I am really excited to have fibre optic finally. Moving on to the 6th, I have another bill due and another work from home day to mark in. I really don't have a lot of stuff already planned for September, so this spread is going to get filled in a lot throughout the month, but it's pretty sparse at the end of this video. It's a lot of marking in my work from home days and bills and weightlifting class, and that's about it. Once I've added in my weightlifting class on Saturday the 10th, I'm then going to remember to add in the bin icon onto the previous Friday, and then I'm going to mark another friend's birthday on the 11th. I'm still really struggling with actually filling these in chronologically, so I'm just going to pop back to Friday the 2nd to add in a work meeting using a skinny event label and an envelope doodle from the kit. We can then move on to the second full week of September, and again I'm starting by marking in my work from home days using these round laptop icons from Plannerface. On the 16th I have another work meeting, so again I'm using a skinny event label, this time with the phone doodle from the kit to mark that in. As I already mentioned, this month is pretty boring pre-planning wise, so again I'm just adding in my weightlifting class using another regular event label from the kit, and then we're going to move on to the third full week of September, where again I'm marking in my work from home days, but the 21st is payday, so I'm adding in a payday flag just to mix it up a little bit. And then on the 23rd I'm using another solid piece of washi to mark in that it is the start of autumn, although for me autumn begins on the 1st of September and that's it. This day is also the start of Libra season, so I'm using one of these little icons that I make myself and print off on sticker paper. Moving on to the 24th, I'm marking in my 4th weightlifting class of the month. You only get 3 regular event labels in a Plannerface monthly kit, so I dug this one out of my stash. I think it blends in okay though. We can then move on to the last week of the month, where I'm starting by marking in another bill that's due, and then adding in my work from home days again. The 27th is another friend's birthday, so again I'm using one of the birthday labels but with the present doodle stuck over the icon to mark that in. I can then finish off with my last bin doodle on the 30th, and then we can go back in and add some decorative boxes into spaces where I don't think I'm going to be adding much. So to add these in, I just take the date flag and any icons off of the box that I'm going to be putting them on, and then I just trim the box down to size on my planner and then replace the date flag and, in this case, the work from home icon. So as I'm pretty sure that I mentioned in previous videos, I started adding these decorative boxes in at the beginning of my spread rather than just dotting them in throughout the month, and so far I have managed to not have to move any of them because I needed to pop something down on a date that they were on, so I'm pretty happy about that. I do usually put them on weekdays where it's less likely for things to be added into my spread, but you never know when something's going to come up on a random Tuesday. I'm also having to use a plastic ruler to trim these because my metal ruler doesn't bend with my planner, and the left hand side page, especially around that Wednesday, is getting pretty chunky. Like, it's usually midway through September that I start to really struggle with the planner chunk on the left hand side, so I don't know whether it's like the hardcover being a little, like laying a little bit differently, or whether it's just because I've used like way more stickers than I did in previous years, but yeah, the left hand side of my planner is getting pretty chunky now, and doing horizontal trimming on Wednesday is pretty much impossible without my plastic ruler. Also, when it comes to picking out the decorative boxes that I'm going to put within my spread, I pick the 4 that I think are going to look best trimmed down, because obviously I have to cut a chunk off of them so they fit within the calendar boxes of a passion planner, but the other 2 don't go to waste, and I'll show you where they end up in a bit. So now that we've got that last decorative box in and trimmed and the date flag back on, we can go back in and fill in all of my plans as usual using my Pilot Friction pen. So September is looking pretty chill so far, which I'm kind of excited about because August was quite full on and I did a lot, and I've had to kind of make a lot of time to rest and recover because I nearly pushed myself too far, but I reeled it back in just in time. So with September I'm going to be taking it easy, and I'm probably going to be adding into this spread as we go along throughout the month because obviously social things come up here and there. As much as I love planning ahead, I still like to leave space for there to be things that come up later in the month. I think the main thing that I'm going to be focusing on in September is my new training plan that I designed for the gym, which I spoke about in my last weekly plan with me video, and also I kind of need to get my butt in gear when it comes to my professional portfolio because I have not been doing enough work on that over the summer. So for my habit tracker this month, I'm keeping it exactly the same. Maybe I'll actually get some Duolingo done instead of it just being a completely blank line in my habit tracker, but we'll see. It's like 5 minutes a day that I have my XP set at, and I just keep forgetting. My weightlifting goals on the side are staying pretty much the same, mostly because they're not really goals, it's just sort of the heaviest lifts that I manage within the month. And then for my to buy section, I'm just writing in a reminder that I want to do some sort of autumn getaway and I need to get that booked. So because I didn't have a whole lot to pre-plan this month, I decided I would film me setting up my reflection pages as well. So I like these pages to match my monthly spread, but they are much less stickered. For the 3 biggest lessons and 3 things to improve on the upcoming month sections, I like to split these boxes into 3 so that I can have those 3 sections for the 3 things. And then I'm adding in those 2 decorative boxes that I didn't use in my monthly spread into the priorities question and the gratitude question. I've then cut some more 6mm chunks of box covers that I use to cover up just that checklist header in the bottom right hand corner. I don't know why I don't cover up all of the headers in this page, but I like having the black headers across the top. And that is pretty much it, so make sure that you're following me over on Instagram if you want to see how my monthly spread evolves over the month, because I will try and remember to post update pictures over there. And to finish off this video, here's a little clip of my sweet boy with hiccups. So that's everything for this video, friends. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. Drop the video a like if you enjoyed it, and if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye!